if you hit your body that hard, it's suddenly one day you wake up and you do everything differently. You eat different
Yeah.
food, you get 8 hours of sleep, you get the sun, don't use your screens, just
Yeah.
do everything differently. Your body's gonna be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yes, where
And
is it
that's,
gonna shut down? Is it just gonna be like, I'm just gonna shut it down? Something or someone really has to make that shift inside you of you to be like, you know what, fuck this. It's high time. I really gotta make some changes. Otherwise,
Mhm.
I can't be living like this for the rest of my life, right? So, and let's be honest, no matter how secure you are, once in a while you would think, dude, this is gonna ruin my chances with this one. Let me not.
Oh yeah.
I have something good going on. Let me not mess it up. Because with me, it's like,
Wait, why is my background like this?
it's okay. I think you forgot to take off the yeah, the Zoom background. Just
Yeah.
must not have used Zoom in a while, have you?
Yeah, I mean, there should be an option here to take it off my.
So I think yeah, I'll tell you. Go to sorry, the video option. There should be an arrow up there. Then go to
Yeah.
choose virtual background, and then just go to
Oh
no.
yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
None. Yes. Yeah, this is the reality.
How are you doing, dude?
Doing good, man. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad we are finally able to do this after procrastinating for like 6, 8 months now.
Yeah, I mean, I remember we spoke about this outside Granite, right?
Yeah. Well, I think even you were in you still had classes at the time, right? You were still in college.
Yeah, yeah. I think I had my last semester going on.
Right. Now finally, after like delaying it for so long, we're finally able to do this, which is good.
Yeah.
So what's going on with you? How's your day been like so far?
The day's been pretty okay. It's snowing. I mean, I can see it's snowing. It's like, I mean, it's pretty fun to see. I mean, it was really awesome to see it the first time when we were in West Lafayette. But now you get to see snow in a different city. Like, now you know what snow looks like in different cities. So now you can you know what snow is in different areas.
Right. And it gets gloomy real fast, huh? You think, oh, it looks good, looks nice, but it just gets fucking depressing very soon.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, prolonged snowing, yes, definitely. I mean, I used to feel like before that, oh, I wish it snowed all the time. Like
Yeah.
it's so, I mean, it's so comforting to see no colors, just snow. But then after a while, it gets so repetitive that it just, yeah, yeah, gloomy is the right word,
Yeah. And
truly.
I was excited because I hadn't seen snow before I came to the US. So I was really excited for it.
Yeah,
And all my friends were
yeah,
there for a while. They were like, dude, I promise you for the first few weeks, you'll like it, but then you're gonna hate it so much later. And I just didn't believe them. I was like, I don't know.
yeah,
But they were so true about it. I don't like it.
yeah,
Yeah, it just brings my mood down, dude.
yeah. Now it does. Now you just speak about it. Now, yeah, now I'm thinking, yeah, it'll probably bring down my mood as well.
Yeah, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. Uh, no, but for the longest time, so obviously, like today, I don't have an agenda as such because I'm just trying to get back into my element. I've not done this in a while, like
Yeah,
podcast
yeah.
and even just talking in front of a camera for a while. So if you don't do it long enough, you kind of lose the touch, and it just doesn't
Hmm.
come across as organic as you would like for it to be.
Yeah,
But just that initial few days of resistance that you have to get through, then it's like just get back into it like that. It's easy.
yeah, man. Happy to help, man. This is my first time doing something like this as well. So we are both out of practice.
So I'll tell you what I used to do in India. Like when I initially started doing this, I started like this only. I just started inviting my friends that hey, let's
Hmm.
let's do a podcast, and they'll be like, okay, about what? Like whatever you are doing and whatever I'm doing, we'll just talk, just have a conversation. And it used to be a fun time always because I have friends doing like from all walks of life. Someone is pursuing stand-up comedy full time. Someone is pursuing
Oh,
like professional cricket journalism and all of that. So I would just talk to
okay.
them and understand how's their life like. So I get to learn about it and then I can just ask them questions. I would just be curious about it. And it wasn't with the
Hmm.
intention, okay, this is gonna get me views because obviously it's not gonna, I'm nobody. but it just made me happy doing it. So that's why I'm just starting it back up again.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man, you're not a nobody, man. You are light of so many people's lives, man. I look forward to your messages every time they come.
I'm happy to hear that, man. Thanks.
Yeah.
And even now it's like, no, when I said like nobody, of course, I mean, I'm glad to have friends like you in life, but it's like uh on the internet to an anonymous person, I am just like
Mhm.
some random guy spitting recycled bullshit that they hear every day, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, this is just the
Or
way.
maybe you are just, I mean, you flip on it and say that, okay, there is so much trash, but you kind of like go ahead and like take it like, okay, this is the standard that I set for trash, and this is
Yeah,
the trash that I'm going to spread to my followers. So they're actually doing something really nice, bro. I mean, I will always be a huge fan of yours, man. It's like, when you really like a character in a movie, whatever they do, you could try to find a justification for it.
right.
So, like, if we like Homelander, right? So, even though we know Homelander is pure evil,
Yeah, you
we
keep
say,
trying.
oh, okay,
Yeah, you keep finding ways to support your character that, nah, I mean, I still like him. That's how you know
yeah,
it's a well-written character, that you're supposed to hate that character on paper because it
oh,
is a
yeah,
horrible character, but you're still rooting for him or her, and you feel like, okay, this is a really well-written character. It evokes that empathy inside
oh,
of you.
yeah. Definitely, man. And I think the thought process changed for me when, like, this one time, I read this line that a hero will sacrifice you to save the world, but the villain will sacrifice the world to save you. And that's what got me thinking. Like, okay, there is passion on both sides, and you can like look at both of the sides and relate to pointers from either of like good and evil.
Absolutely. And lately, it's just been about like I've been finding it difficult to do even the normal things in life, like normal basic habits that you're just supposed to
Mm-hmm.
get through without even thinking much about it. But I
Mm-hmm.
realize it affects your life in a lot of ways, like in major ways. For example, just even
Mm-hmm.
as simple as getting enough sleep, or
Mm, yeah.
going out, getting the sun once in a while, or simple habits, maybe reading a book once in a while, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to develop these habits because lately, since the first semester, I've just not been. I don't feel like I have been enjoying myself as much. I don't know if it's the same with everyone or most people,
Mm-hmm.
but I just feel since I've been to the US, in the first month, I
Mm-hmm.
realized, okay, I can't be the same person I was in India. I have to change certain
Oh
things.
yeah.
I have to tone down a lot of things. So I felt castrated
Mm.
in a way after a while that, okay, I can't really say a lot of things. I can't really
Yeah.
like I had to put a lot of filters on, and then it felt like, okay, what
Mm-hmm.
am I doing? We'll just get through it, keep doing it, and before you know it,
Yeah.
you just become a tool. You forget about what you were supposed to do. It's easy to get
Truly, man.
manipulated like that, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, I think the place that we went to, like Purdue in general, it's a very competitive school. I mean, I certainly felt like I was being watched not only by like professors and teachers, but also my peers. And like, my every move is being calculated. If I am like learning this, then my peers are going to be judging me as to like, if am I doing something correct or not. So, I mean, it kind of feels like you are in a big boss house when you go to like a good college. I feel like where the competitive edge is very fine and very sharp. So I mean, yeah, you do feel sort of you cannot be the person that you were in Bombay or Bhopal or Indore. You have to, I mean, evolve in a bad way. I mean, forceful evolution, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. Because then, uh, I don't know if this is along the same lines, but this is the first time in life I felt I felt forced to fit in if I have to
Hmm.
thrive. Like if I don't fit in with the people, because obviously as an international student, everything here is
Yeah.
about your networking and how well you get along with people. If you don't do that well, then you're gonna have a hard time doing things that you're here for, doing big
Yeah.
classes, understanding things, group projects, getting a job, unless you're like
Yeah.
extremely intelligent and uh, people
Oh yeah.
you know, and
Yeah.
then it's a different thing. But otherwise, if you're just a average human being like myself, you just have to do what most people are doing just to get,
Yeah.
even if you like it or not, I would say so.
Absolutely. I mean, in India, I think there are many equalizers. You know, a lot of problems act as equalizers. In US, there is no equalizer. It's every man for himself, every woman for herself, or like, you know, whatever it is. But like, you feel like, okay, like I am for sure going to be having a happy ending. Like, you know, it's going to turn out pretty well for us. It won't, because as long as like you are not trying, as long as you are not doing the right things that
Mm.
you're supposed to do as an international student, things won't turn out well for you. Chances are
Yeah.
nobody will like hand give you a job or an internship like, okay, here, take this. And in India, it used to be like, you know, okay, you go to your final year, somebody is going to hand you a job, like doesn't matter like, you know, what your skill set is. So that was like a great equalizer for engineers there.
Yeah.
But here it's different. It's a different ball game.
Yeah, I would say we have been spoon-fed in a lot of ways, and I guess we are spoiled in a lot of ways. Even something as basic as doing your own chores or doing your dishes
Oh
is
yeah.
most homes in India, we have house help, we have not been brought up,
Yeah.
you know, all those things.
Yeah.
And other than that, if I'm talking about the academic setting, look, I'm all for healthy competition. It only works the best for everyone because you do better, your peers do better.
Mhm.
But I felt a lot of unnecessary competition here in a way where,
Oh yeah.
because
Oh
most
yeah.
of the people are Indians, and it's like there's a herd mentality to just do what everyone else is doing, and that didn't
Oh
really feel right to me for some reason.
yeah, man. I mean, that was that. I mean, I relate to this point. I mean, I'll give you like two. The first thing that you said was like, you know, household chores. I remember like when I came here first week, I just remember like when I used to eat stuff at home, I'd just take my plate and I'll put it next to the sink, and I'll come next day or in the evening and magically it'll be washed and it's in the right place. I was still thinking about that. And I, in my first week here, I came and I left my plate next to the sink, and I don't know, I went away for 3 days, and after 3 days I came back, it was still there. So that was like a huge shock for me. Like, okay, I need to wash my own clothes. I need to wash my own utensils.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, second of all, coming to the like unhealthy competition. I mean, I told you, right? I mean, for me personally, when I got, so I wasn't like the best of BAME, like, you know, nowhere near the best and the best of what business analytics cohort was like. And by the time I got my first job, people already had like multiple job offers. So what should have been a very happy thing for me to like share with my like, you know, mom and dad, like, hey guys, I got this job offer. They were like, you know, happy, like, you know, they didn't understand. But like for me mentally, it was like, okay, I only have one job right now. Like forgetting that I can only do one job, forgetting that like, you know, it's a huge thing, it's a huge achievement. I'm a boy from Bhopal who
Yeah,
worked like minimum wage in India, in a very, you know, in Reliance. And for me to have that happiness taken away from me because of the unhealthy competition and unhealthy like observation, that's like, you know, observation deck that you are in when you
yeah,
study as an international student in a good college. So like, you know, okay, you get your second job offer, okay, this is not enough, 3, 4, 5, and like after 5, okay, now I am at par with everyone.
yeah.
So like, you know, that that is how like, you know, the unhealthy competition affects you and your psyche.
I agree, and I resonate with you so much because there's always you feel this compulsion to keep up with the rest of
Yeah.
the class or whatnot. Okay, fine, understood, but it's like, um, okay, you're not ever able to enjoy what you have like in the moment, you know. You're always
Yeah,
looking forward to something else, trying to get somewhere else, and that stresses you out every single time. Like, even though if I have a
every time.
job,
Yes, man.
let's say, even though if I have a job today, most people would love to be in my position, right? But
Oh yeah,
I'm
absolutely, dude.
yeah, or be in your position, even you're crushing it right now. Like the things that you have told me, we don't have to talk about
Yeah,
but I was so happy to hear things about the things that he shared with me. And I was like, he's just crushing it. But I understand why he's stressed because he's thinking about what's about to come, or, you know, I should
yeah,
be preparing for what's coming. And that
yeah,
you have to learn to manage that expectation in a way. But
yeah,
yeah, eventually it just comes down to I guess it's wrong to expect from your peers or your or the people around you to be accommodating in that regard where
yeah, oh yeah,
because there's not one job position and hundreds of people. There are lots of jobs,
yeah,
lots of people. So ideally, we could all be helping
yeah,
each other and still be doing fine. but people just are really secretive about their process, or
Oh yeah.
even misleading. Being secretive is fine, because I'll talk about myself.
Yeah.
If I have something good going on, something lucrative, I don't like to make the noise until it's concrete, because then I think
Yeah.
I ruin my chances if I just talk about it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But if
Yeah.
I,
And
yeah,
I spent a lot of time thinking about this. Is why do we do it? Why do we not just tell people what we are doing? I mean, I was living with like 3 roommates, and I did not know what any of them was doing till they got their like job offers, or I was congratulating them. So even though like I would have wanted to help in any way, I mean, I mean, who knows if I would have been able to help or not.
yeah,
But I mean, I know, I mean, your own 3 roommates, you don't know anything about them. And maybe like, for some time I thought maybe it's like the evil eye or the nazar, like think about it. Or maybe it's something else. Maybe you don't want to increase the competition, because these jobs are like, because these aren't campus placements, these are online posted jobs.
yeah.
If they are interviewing for something, you can go ahead and apply for the same and get in line, and then you might decrease their prospects. uh so that was like the reason that I came up with, as to like, why people don't share. I mean, it didn't happen with me because I was like one of the last ones to get a job in BAME. Like everybody, like I got my first job in May, and by May, like almost everybody had like tons of jobs. So it didn't really, like, nobody really asked me like, hey, what are you doing? But yeah, I mean, if I was in that position, I would have probably done the same.
I I remember like seeing all of you, at least the people I know from BAME, this last year in May. All of you would be on campus in your formal attire all the time. I could see that
Yeah.
all of them are like dead busy right now, trying to get offers.
Yeah.
And anyone I would speak to, they would be like, "Yeah, I have a couple of offers, but just not the one I'm looking
Yeah,
for."
exactly, right? Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
And I would think, wow, like these people can afford to think like that. He have a couple of offers
Yeah.
and good companies like, let's say, Capital One, Wells Fargo, Amazon, and just
Yeah.
looking for better offers. Like, great for you, absolutely get your worth. But I would just
Yeah.
think, oh, I have a long way to go just to be comfortable thinking that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
regarding the process and being secretive about it, it's like, so I'll be honest. There was this one time I had something lucrative, and I got
Mm-hmm.
paranoid that, okay, I got to look out for myself first, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing any, like, I'm not helping anyone else if I'm not looking out for myself first. So someone asked me regarding a contact, and would have been okay to just share with them, but
Mm-hmm.
I just get paranoid sometimes. I just didn't do
Oh
it,
yeah.
and then I felt like shit. So I spoke to another friend, and then I got sort of seeking reassurance that, hey, did I do the wrong thing or right thing? I don't know. And they were like,
Yeah.
I think you did fine. I mean, most people wouldn't even think that much. It's okay. I was like, okay, fine. And then dude, some people will literally, I've seen they'll go out of their way to have you
Mm-hmm.
think something else, but then do something else. I don't know
Oh yeah.
what that is. Like misleading people, taking the time to do that. I don't get it.
Yeah. I, I mean, I feel like that's a very cultural issue that we have, because we are 1.7 billion people from our country. It is every man for himself. I mean, life is pretty hard in our country if you think about it, right? I mean,
It is hard.
if one job, and like you have 10,000 people applying for it.
Yeah.
So even though, I mean, so that's how we are conditioned to, like, okay, it's like, in India especially, like, it's so difficult to, like, like, you go at it every day. It's player versus player. If
Yeah.
you don't do your job, somebody else will. If he doesn't or she doesn't, somebody else will, like, replace them. And like, it's a level upon level upon level of competition, and that's how we are conditioned. That's why I think you did the right thing, and anybody in your position would have done the same thing. It's not about being secretive. It's about, like, you are scared too, right? I mean, if you weren't scared, if you weren't
Especially in this
paranoid
market.
about this tip.
Yeah, especially in this market,
Oh yeah.
can't afford to take any
Oh
chances.
yeah. Oh yeah, man.
And
This
I
market
agree
is really.
about hey, by the way, I'm sorry, I forgot to ask. How are you doing? I know you told me 10 minutes pehle ki you have forgot about
Yeah,
that.
but like, but this country has this thing called ibuprofen and Tylenol, which are magic drugs. I mean, you
The
take
work
one and
I've
you are
not
ready to take.
do the work. I've not taken them yet. I've not had to.
Oh, dude, Tylenol is magic, dude. If you get Tylenol, I mean, it's hard not to get addicted to it. It's like it knocks everything outside your body. Like it feels like, I mean, a legal cocaine or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Try it for the heck of it. Um,
Don't, not for the heck of it, dude. Like only try it when you need it.
oh,
It
yeah.
is very potent, very potent. Yeah.
So what, it makes you sleepy, or what does it do?
I mean, if you take it in the day, it helps you with like if you're feeling down, like under the weather or something, it helps you. But if you take it in the night, you'll sleep in 30 minutes. I
Wow.
guarantee it. Like 30 minutes max, you'll be on the bed snoring.
I mean, okay.
Sounds good, right?
Sounds good. Yeah. It's and yeah, going back to what you were saying about life being difficult in India, I agree with that because I've only been home once after I came to the US. And
Yeah,
even my friends, when I talk to them, like every time you go back home, you realize, okay,
yeah,
within the first week, you realize, okay, I know why I left. And you get a reality check,
yeah, exactly,
and you get
exactly.
you get the drive to come back and work harder.
I mean, absolutely, dude. Absolutely. You're so right. You do feel like when you go to India, like I mean, imagine we are from MP. MP
Yeah.
is not even like a major state. Like the resources that are available to us are much more scarce. Like, the good colleges for undergraduate in India, in MP, sorry. I mean, I'd say like three max.
Yeah.
But like people in Bombay, Delhi, Telangana, like north, south, west, these people have options. These people have resources. These people have idols and heroes to like follow and feel happy about. We have fucking Karthik Aryan. That's our guy.
I don't get it. And I mean, I can understand how the generation below us, I mean, after us, I should say, have been brought
Yeah,
up and why they like him. Because
yeah,
he's got more of an e-boy vibe. Nothing wrong with that. But
yeah.
yeah, he's a smart dude. I like him. Like sometimes I really like him in some movies, but
Hmm.
this doesn't do it for me. Like Pool Bhulaiya didn't do it for me. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, absolutely. And I remember like when it's election time in MP, like it's Karthik Aryan on all the hoardings doing, "Hey, please go vote." And I was thinking like, who is listening to Karthik Aryan? Like, if you need Karthik Aryan to tell you to vote, then, I mean, there's something seriously wrong. There's something seriously wrong with you.
Yeah, like Karthik Aryan's audience is not even old enough to vote, I would say.
Yeah, truly. I mean, they
Probably,
probably listen to Jake Paul and stuff. Yeah,
yeah, they're all probably teens right now.
yeah.
Dude, lately I've just been reading a lot about how a huge impact your habits have on your life, and just understanding that
Mhm,
I've been trying to get to the bottom of it because I had a great time in my undergrad, and I just
mhm,
have it all figured out that okay, I understand things. And now when I'm going through the same situations again, I'm just not able to cope with them in the same way I used to. So I'm thinking,
mhm.
yeah, I definitely know better than this because I've been in this situation before. I've dealt with this.
Yeah.
What's happening to me? Why am I not able to respond to it in the same way? And I'd say a big chunk of it has to do with, I would say, the last 2 3 years. Because
Mhm.
even with the pandemic aside, the pandemic was bad enough for everyone. Everyone had
Yeah.
pretty much, I think everyone in some way or the other felt loneliness, right? Here and there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But even after that, I did still have some personal things going on in life. And that really, in a way, was a really rough patch for me. So I was like, okay, I think my emotional quotient went really high during the pandemic. And now I'm kind of
Yeah,
soft.
that's good. That's incredibly good, man. Yeah. Pandemic really, like, all the habits that we were building or we had at that point, that we went out of the window.
Yeah. And I'm happy that my EQ is high now because I feel wiser in a
Mm-hmm.
way. Like 2016 to 2019, I was confident and I was doing shit, but then there was some
Mm-hmm.
emotional maturity that needed to happen in
Oh
terms
yeah.
of relationships or friendships. Like not
Oh
giving
yeah.
or not giving the fuck was supposed to be cool. Now I understand it's
Yeah.
not cool. It's cool
It's
to care.
yeah. Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah.
cool to care
Of
value.
course, man.
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, I think the second wave, especially the second wave, was so bad in India. You turn on the news, it's statistics, it's people running out of wood, it's people running out of space, it's people running out of oxygen cylinders. So second wave especially was so brutal in a way that, I mean, I feel like I changed. Even though, like, touch wood, I didn't get COVID. I was at home, I was safe. But to see like how Delhi was at that time, how Bombay was, how Bangalore was at that time,
Yeah.
it really, like, it changes you as a person. You see things in a different way. You sort of have this empathy inside you which goes up and up for, like, how I can help these guys, how I can help my countrymen, because it's so helpless. It's so helpless to see people running out of oxygen in hospitals. Before pandemic, could you have ever imagined a hospital running out of oxygen cylinders? No. And like, this is a new problem altogether.
Yeah.
And every time you turn on the news, it's bad, 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 bad. So you kind of develop a thick skin, and then you kind of develop an empathy, and you become much more considerate to how people feel and how people act.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. And I guess the entire healthcare system, not just in India, all over the world, was really shocked by
Oh yeah.
it. Because obviously it's literally a pandemic, but other than that, you can't really depend on, basically the supply chain all over the world was just challenged in a way. He
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, dude.
has in time, be it with oxygen or PPE kits or anything. But
Yeah.
now, like looking at the brighter side, now I think we are way more prepared for something if it ever happens again. And
Yeah.
how we know our workarounds, you know.
Yeah. Hopefully. But like, you can never prepare yourself for something
Yeah,
like,
I would
I mean,
think
that
like
was something that was out of,
out of the blue.
yeah. Yeah.
If a zombie apocalypse happens in a couple years, what are you gonna do with
Yeah.
oxygen cylinders and PPE kits? It's
I
gonna be
mean,
a challenge altogether.
Purdue GSCM is going to be safe. Zombie
Uh, yeah, I mean, I hope so. I hope so. Um, yeah,
Yeah, but I mean,
if you need any numbers crunched, I'll call you. You guys are great with data, and I always think that at least the people I knew in BAME, I would say that, dude, you guys are really efficient, not just with studies,
mm,
a lot of things in life. The way you
oh
have,
yeah, oh yeah,
the way you all had to manage your time, like 36 credits in 10 months.
oh yeah.
When I think
And
about
we
it,
took
I
FM, dude. Like, remember we were, so I was one of the 5 BAMers who took I don't know, 4 BAMers who took FM. And I remember you were in class, you
yeah.
raised your hand, and Professor Brown asked you, like, hey, what do you not get? You said nothing. I get nothing. And dude, everybody was thinking the same thing. You just had the guts to say it. It was such a difficult subject, dude. I don't know what we were taught. I don't know how we managed it. But at least, like, we all got a good grade in the end, so that's good.
Yeah. Because the first class was fine, second was okay, but the third one, professor just went over really fast, and I was like, okay, I didn't catch a single thing.
Oh yeah.
It's really fast for me.
We were at future value of cash, and now suddenly we are on future value of derivatives, like, proportions and like options and shorting and all those things. I mean, like, it went 0 to 100 pretty quick.
Pretty quick, and you don't know how to use the financial calculator. He thinks we knows, but
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah, it was. But I'm glad it's over now. That was one of
Oh
the
yeah, dude. Like,
that photo for sure.
oh yeah. Dude, I took the subjects together, which I was the only one who did it, right? Financial management, 3 credits, and web data analytics.
Okay.
And like, everybody, when I told them these are my 2 subjects, everybody looked at me like, hey, dude, are you okay? Are you insane? But like, I thought, like, I can do it. But dude, I have a ton of gray hair just because of that semester. Like, WD and FM together. It was brutal. It was completely annihilation of my mental health, of my physical health, of all my health, dude. Like, it was war. It was war.
See, gray hair is still better than no hair. It's a problem when you start losing hair.
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh
when
yeah.
it start worrying. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if BAME was like 2 months longer, I probably would have started like shedding hair too.
Balding.
Yeah.
Um, There's just been so much. I guess this is what adulting is, but because of it's gonna sound like such a cliche, but it's true. I have to go that way. Like because of social media and how indulgent we are with it.
Mhm.
Okay, this is gonna end in 10 minutes. So if this ends, just join back on the same link. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was saying, because of how indulgent we are with social media and the screen time and just consuming irrelevant shit, which is not important to our day to day, it has just
Yeah.
made us a lot more inefficient, and our attention span is like close to nothing now, probably 6 seconds,
Oh yeah.
6, 8
Oh
seconds.
yeah, dude.
If you don't
Yeah.
hook your crowd or your audience within the first 5 seconds, they'll just move on to the next video or the next post.
Oh yeah.
That's how it's become now.
Oh yeah, dude. I see it happen with me, like because I had this like gap of like, finishing college and then joining a job. I think in that gap I did a lot of like this scrolling business, like on Reels and
Yeah.
like, YouTube Shorts and like just swiping, 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 swiping. So my attention span is pretty much nothing. Like, so I have to like in my initial few days I was in these onboarding meetings and I was in these meetings with like all of my team members and like trying to understand. But they would start and I would just fade away. I would just zone out like crazy. So I had to start recording my meetings secretly. So like, just hit record of the meeting so that I can like when I like in the end when it's required, I'll go through these meetings once again because I zone out so quickly and so far away. It's like it's even difficult for me to like pull myself back. And it takes like 5 minutes to pull myself back into the current situation and start listening to these people.
Yeah.
And because it's like it's so fast and you're in a big company, they're telling you a lot of information in 5 minutes. So
Yeah.
that was like pretty difficult to like I really had to delete Instagram. I really wish they had a feature where like the middle part of the reels it goes away, and
Okay.
that would like really help me. But like yeah.
What do you mean middle part of the reel goes away?
So like when you open Instagram, there is home, there is search, there is reels, there is note, there is shop, and then there
Okay,
is your
okay.
own profile, right?
That button goes
So
away.
like the yeah, that button goes away and it's like replaced by something else. That'll be like really fun.
So is it like a third party app?
No, array, wait, I'll show you.
I didn't know you could do that.
Uh, no, do you not see it like here? Uh, so you see like this is home.
Yeah.
Wait, home, explore,
Yeah. Reels.
right? And then in the reels, then shop, and then your own profile.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm thinking like this one, the middle part, that reels,
Yeah.
if this goes away,
Yeah.
if this goes away, I'll spend a lot less time on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Because when I open
Understood.
Instagram,
Yeah.
like I go through all the stories and then like the next step is to like open reels and then start swiping again and again. And before you know it, it's like it's 30 minutes gone.
Right, right. And so I misunderstood. I thought you figured out a way to get rid of it. And I was like, how did you do that?
No, no, actually, that's what I'm looking for. If I find it, I'll spread it with the world. It's going to be
Yeah,
like
that would be great.
it's going to be the next Pfizer.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. It would help a lot of people. But that's so true. Dude, it's as simple as your morning routine and everything. It sounds
Oh
so
yeah,
internet, but it is so important to take care of it.
yeah.
Like when I wake up on most days, even after I'm up, awake, I'll be in my bed for like the next 30, 45 minutes on my phone.
Oh, oh yeah,
And getting back to people using Instagram, watching some random YouTube video. And
oh
once in
yeah,
a while, it's gonna strike me that, dude, what the fuck are you doing early in the morning on your phone?
yeah. Dude. I think this is the next pandemic that we are in. It's it's kind of the one that we don't have any medication for. It's kind of the one that we don't have any therapy for.
Yeah.
How do you stop yourself from these 15-second videos.
Yeah.
That's going to be like really difficult to overcome.
And I believe getting rid of it is not the solution. There should be some way to just gotta manage it somehow, manage your time on the internet. I just don't mean Instagram, I mean YouTube, Netflix, everything. Because I read this one post recently. I think one thing that really helped me, at least off late, is if you don't open an app unless you can think of reason to open it. Just train your mind like that. Because right now it is just pick up your phone, tuck, 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 tuck. You use your you scroll between your apps, slide through all the apps, and just mindless scrolling, right? But now think of a reason. Is there a reason I have to open the app? Do I have to get back to someone, or is there something I really want to post? Think of a reason, then only I open the app. Otherwise, I don't. And I try to do that. I'm not successful at it. But other than that, it's more about just was going somewhere with that. Just completely forgot my point. I was leading up to something nice. Forgot.
See, this is what happens when you do too much scrolling.
Exactly. This is what happens when you do too much scrolling.
You have to say what's on your mind in 15 seconds. Yeah, that's like most of the information in 15 seconds. Here it is. I got
it. So I read this on the internet somewhere. I don't remember. I think on Twitter that just use social media for posting content, not consuming content. Just post it there and don't consume other content as well as much. Unless it is something you're trying to learn actively. Let's say if I have to learn a new editing software, then obviously I can go to YouTube and learn it. But don't just scroll random reels because you're bored. Only consume content when you have to learn something, Just try and do that.
Yeah.
That could help you. So I was like, okay, that makes sense to me. I'll try that. But in that, dude, it's I mean, I'll talk more about this, but what other habits have you faced problems with?
I mean, but like, hey, bring it. Don't you feel I feel like it's such a weird thing to feel embarrassed. I feel embarrassed about like posting something. I don't even know why. Like, I feel embarrassed about posting a story. I feel embarrassed about posting a thing on my grid. I feel embarrassed like posting a song from Spotify. I don't know why this is happening.
That's because we're way too self-critical of ourselves in a way where, is this like a fucking boomer move, or is this even cool anymore? Posting your song or posting a picture.
Also you might be in a lot of talking stages with a lot of baddies and you're thinking, okay, how are they going to be
I know
how they're going to be looking at my that happens.
There's another thing that comes with it. Am I posting too much? Is it not cool to post too much?
Oh yeah, exactly. Like, how much is too much?
Exactly.
And
if I post, let's say two things a day, because there are times when I literally feel like posting like 15 to 20 memes on my story. There are so many good memes in my saved folder.
Yeah.
But, I can't post them at once because it's overwhelming for the viewer. They won't even see it. So I feel the need to save it in my phone, and then one by one I just get.
And then ration them like, okay, you 3 for Monday, you 3 Monday.
Like, there's a backlog of memes on my phone right now, which I'll send to my friends or put it on my story.
Yeah, like it's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing to even think about this. Like, why am I embarrassed to post a story on my own profile? Like, I made this. Why is this controlling me?
You're saying, okay, it's not going to affect anyone that I'm talking to, blah, blah, blah. And, let's be honest, no matter how secure you are, once in a while you would think, dude, this is going to ruin my chances with this one. Let me not.
Oh, yeah.
I have something good going on. Let me not mess it up. Because with me, it's like if I'm genuinely into someone and I know that this could work so well, eventually, weeks into it or months into it, I just find a way to fuck it up somehow. I'll do some things to knowingly that this is not going to.
Oh yeah, that's a self-destructive tendency. A lot of us have to. I mean, like, I want to post so much about like, this Patrick Bateman Sigma male like memes that there are. But like, if I'm talking to this chick who is like, oh, I hate Andrew Tate, I hate this like Sigma male mentality. Like, okay, you know what? I hate it too.
So let's talk about that whole fucking Sigma bullshit that's been going on for like an year now.
Yeah,
Look, I'll agree. It is funny as fuck. Okay.
yeah,
It's sometimes it also makes you feel good that okay, yeah, you know what? That's actually true. You might not be able
yeah,
to say it out loud sometimes that, but you know that these are facts. Some of these things are actually true. But again, most of it is just a little too exaggerated, or even the ideologies that Andrew Tate you know
yeah,
tries to peddle here and there. It's just most of it, it's horrible, doesn't make sense. I don't agree with it. But
yeah.
yeah, it is just it's funny sometimes. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, it's really thought provoking. I'll say it's really thought provoking. And most of the time, the thing that Patrick Bateman says, my pain is constant and sharp,
Yeah.
is something that, it got me hooked. That line got me hooked for it. And I mean, I kind of find ways to relate it to why I function the way I function. And it's not a good place to be in, but as long as you are trying to get out of that place, it's nice. But while you're trying to do it, might as well find it funny. Might as well see the fun side of things.
Yeah, indulge in self-deprecation, and because every once in a while it makes you laugh
Yeah.
at your problems and you're like, yeah, I'll get out of it pretty soon. It's not a big
Oh
deal.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I guess
Oh yeah.
anything that
Definitely. I
makes
mean,
you, yeah.
same reason we get up and we go through our phones for like 30 minutes before we do anything is to escape from the day that's going to be there. We wake up from one nightmare to end up in the next one. And for the time that we spend watching reels, it
Mhm.
doesn't feel like a struggle anymore. It doesn't feel like you have so much riding on you anymore. And that's why I've spoken to people who have like the same addiction to like reels and TikToks, and they say the same thing. Just like it's just an escape, it's just a window into
Right.
normalcy.
Cheap dopamine.
Yeah, cheap dopamine.
And
Cheap
along the same lines,
dopamine.
I read this awesome tweet today that as long as you're chasing cheap dopamine, you'll never succeed.
Oh yeah.
So true. And
So
then cheap dopamine is all social media, porn,
yeah.
bad food habits, and anything that you're doing to just feel good today.
Dating apps.
And yeah, those are a big one too. Like
Yeah.
this semester, I've had a hard time just because usually I'm the kind of guy who wouldn't really indulge in casual dating.
Yeah.
This semester, I was just like, let's do it for the heck of it. And
Mhm.
at a point, I found it addictive. Okay, this is fun.
Oh
Then I was
yeah.
like, this is not a good. It's not helping me get better. Okay, better at.
Yeah, dude.
I'm
Like
not getting
it's
better.
it's validation. It's validation from an opposite gender in the purest form. They are
Yeah,
not liking you for your personality. They are liking you for the way you look. What's better than that?
yeah. That's pretty
Yeah.
much the crux of it. Just seeking reassurance and validation.
Yeah. Yeah. But I guess the primal beings that we are, I mean, we drape ourselves with all this like professions, like okay, engineers, doctors. I feel like something that I read recently was that in essence of humanity, why are we born? We are born to procreate and die.
Yeah,
We are born to protect our tribe, protect our tribe from like these evils that are animals and man eaters and diseases and famine and hunger.
yeah,
To do that, to make sure that like our bloodline goes on through kids and then just die. We have just developed ourselves into like this whole like mechanism of being like professionals. And that's good, right? I mean, that's good. There is a reason why human race is the most advanced race on this planet.
yeah,
No other race will stand in front of like a huge Niagara fall and then appreciate its beauty.
yeah.
Right? We are the only ones that do it. We are the only ones conscious enough to like
Stop
appreciate all,
and to stop
and
and
then
appreciate.
yeah, stop and appreciate, and then develop like a lifestyle into which like we like develop a lifestyle in which like we like luxuries are affordable,
Yeah.
and then like chasing luxuries again and again. So, what were we talking about? I think I digressed a little.
No, that's fine. That I actually like that when people digress into different conversations. It's actually better
Oh
for.
yeah. Then you must like Kanye a lot.
Oh, bro, that could take a while. Oh, yeah, we are not
Yeah.
talking about him.
Yeah. You might get demonetized before getting
Yeah,
monetized.
exactly. I'd just be banned. Uh,
Yeah.
about that thing that you were talking about. So, I mean, along the same tangent, I don't remember exactly what it was, but even with self improvement. So I'll tell you, I've been reading a lot about. So till 2019, I was deep into nutrition. I would lift regularly. I was in great shape,
Mhm.
and obviously, being in great shape physically helps you mentally a lot. I guess
Yeah.
people don't realize it, but it really helps you a lot to deal
Mhm.
with struggles mentally. It builds character, builds resilience, and
Oh yeah.
a lot of endurance and everything.
Mhm.
So have been reading a lot about dietary habits, and dude, everything that we experience physically or mentally is
Mhm.
governed a lot by our endocrine system. All the hormones in your body, they
Oh
govern
yeah.
pretty much everything that you do in your life. The way you feel, your drive, motivation,
Oh yeah.
how you are around people, and how you deal with things. It's all your endocrine system. If that
Oh
is
yeah.
fucked up, that's if that's not balanced, then
Yeah.
it's a problem. And there's a lot of like I've been reading something about pharmacology as well, that how
Mhm.
you really make sure that your hormones are optimized, right? Because
Mhm.
people after a certain age, they'll just jump to, let's say, men after 45 or 50,
Mhm.
because their body is not producing as much testosterone, or if there's a misbalance, they'll just jump to TRT, and
Yeah.
that helps them make feel better. Not
Oh yeah.
steroids. Steroids is a little too extreme of the same thing.
Yeah.
TRT is clinically prescribed dosage of
Yeah.
weekly testosterone, which helps you function better, and it's actually
Yeah.
better for longevity, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, if you, but till you become like, if you then till you reach 45, I mean, if you are active physically, if you're lifting regularly, if you're doing resistance training, you might find yourself in a position that you might actually not need TRT, and your testosterone is able to like support you for the next at least like 5-10 years as well. So
Oh,
by the
absolutely.
time you actually need like a dose testosterone, like artificial testosterone, you might not actually need it. Like you'll be 55, yeah, like you'll have like grandkids and stuff, and like who needs testosterone at that time? But yeah, I mean, definitely what you're saying is absolutely true. Resistance training is very good for your mental well-being as well.
And
Lifting,
cardio,
yeah, cardio and
really important.
yeah, cardio builds like stamina. It builds like, I mean, both of these like go hand in hand,
Yeah,
right?
I've been realizing lately, okay, I need to do cardio a lot more.
Oh yeah, all of us,
And
all of us
regarding
do.
the TRT thing, I was just saying it in a way where eventually people now consider to move to it, but obviously the first hope is that you never need it.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, you want to be in a position where you never need it. You
Hmm.
tweak your lifestyle in a way where you just sustain on your own, because once you
Yeah.
start doing that shit, then you have to be on it for the rest of your life.
Oh yeah.
And there's a simple way to understand if you need it or not, and we don't even have to really think about this for the next 20-30 years. It is just that
Yeah.
you get a basic. I was thinking about this. I don't know if I'll go ahead with it, but I was just thinking if you just get a basic blood work done, the basic panel, it just
Hmm.
tells you what's going on in your body.
Oh yeah.
It helps you understand, okay, how can I fix this? How can make changes to my diet that can fix this?
Oh
Work out
yeah.
more, get some sun, cardio, make some changes, sleep better.
Yeah, I did the same thing. So obviously, like, getting a like healthcare in US is extreme expensive. Like, there is expensive, and then there is extreme expensive, and then there is US healthcare.
Yeah,
So I went to India and got I got multiple like blood reports done, and like get an image into what and that was really helpful, dude. Like I really found out like how my LDL, HDL is balanced, like which vitamins I'm lacking, if it's D, if it's E, and like what I can do, and like went to a professional doctor to like help me understand like how to get like a better picture out of all this. And I think we should always keep track of, I mean, if the tech is available that like you can assess what's going on inside your body, then you should definitely take like help from it. And
yeah.
like Yeah.
It's healthy to just get it done once every few months.
Yeah.
Just gives you a picture of snapshot in that time. Okay, what is my body up to now, and how I can change it? Because you might not even be aware of the foods that you're eating and how it's affecting your body
Oh
until
yeah.
you just take them out of your diet, switch it with something else,
Oh
and
yeah.
you realize, oh, okay, this makes me feel better, and it helps you feel better not just physically, but it helps you with cognitive function and
Oh
just
yeah.
because I know when I eat like shit,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have mental fog and I can't think clearly. I can't focus. I feel sleepy.
Exactly, dude. Like, and I mean, the thing that will like that, like, was a very concrete example as to what like intake affects is switching from caffeine to like something like a green tea or something. Like, caffeine gives you like a instant rush, and
Yeah.
then you are low for the rest of the day. You're like your throat is feeling like coarse, and you're kind of looking for, okay, like how do I get through the next hour, next hour, next hour. But like if you fix it with something like I mean, green tea maybe, or something else, I don't know what I replaced it with green tea, and I noticed like the energy that I get from green tea is much more long lasting.
Yeah.
It's much more healthy in a way that I am not dependent on coffee every 3 hours to like get me through the day.
Yeah.
Also, it tastes so bad you don't want to drink it more than once.
Yeah. I my relationship with coffee has been so weird, like till 2019. My
Hmm.
2019 has been a huge is a place where a huge shift happened in my life in a lot of ways. That's why I keep going back there. Till
Hmm.
2019, I would just drink a lot of coffee, black coffee, and I genuinely loved the taste of it.
Oh
Not
yeah.
that I would just drink it for the heck of it, but I really liked it. But since then, I've just I don't know when I just naturally cut it out, and I never felt the need to go back again. So I rarely drink
Oh,
coffee.
oh yeah, dude, I had a traumatic experience. So when I used to work in Reliance, I was an assistant manager. So when you were an assistant manager, you get like access to like peons and stuff, right? Like the people who are helping in the office. And I remember he used to come and give. So my manager would sit like on my left, like in some cabin left, and I would sit here. And then whenever my manager would come in, he would bring him like a tea or something, and then he started asking me like, hey, do you need anything too? Like I would get anything for you, because they like, these people that they want to help like the guys that are there. So I used to say, okay, like, whenever you see there is no coffee on my table, just bring me coffee, because I drink it just so much and I love it so much. And no milk, no sugar. So I started like consuming like 3 cups of coffee a day, like
Yeah.
throughout my work, and then like, other habits included. And then I am not kidding, dude. In 2019, I had to get like an endoscopy done. Like a camera went through my food pipe to see like what I had developed, because I couldn't like eat anymore, because I had just had so much coffee in my system. Like I was developing like these like early signs of getting ulcers. So like my food pipe would like burn a lot whenever I would eat anything. So they put like a huge like, and I told this girl about endoscopy, and then she told me, hey, now you know what it feels like.
Yeah.
And I told her, dude, like this is not something that I was looking for.
Yeah. If you
But
could just,
yeah.
it's a hard time if you could just support me instead of making jokes.
Yeah.
Um, but I had no idea coffee could do that to you.
I mean, see, anything, if you do it like without like more than, it's like at the point it becomes excessive. Excess of anything is like pretty bad.
Yeah. You should do,
So,
yeah. And moderation is fine, but when you do too much of it.
oh yeah. So this bhaiya, I know his name was Kailash bhaiya. He
Hmm.
would like he would have his eyes fixed on my table, and like if he sees there is my cup is empty or I don't have a coffee, like, okay, coffee, coffee,
Yeah.
coffee, coffee, and then I could just like, more than water, I was drinking this black coffee just to
Yeah.
get through my day.
No, that's not, yeah, that can't be good. Uh, if you have to get an endoscopy done, it's
Oh
no.
yeah, yeah.
For me, I'd say for 2 years, like 2017 to 2019 again,
Hmm.
I was on a caloric deficit, really clean diet, very
Hmm.
clean, like wouldn't eat even fruits, just
Yeah.
uh, vegetables and everything was calculated.
Hmm.
Then after 2019, I just went on a binge, like a constant binge
Yeah.
for like one and a half year or something. And my
Yeah.
relationship with food is so terrible now. It's like
Yeah.
pretty much like everything else in my life. It's on two extremes. Either I
Yeah.
do a lot of something or I do none of it. So
Yeah.
I have to find a sweet spot where I can enjoy some unhealthy meals
Yeah.
once in a while.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like binge eating is definitely it's a very bad thing. It like I suffer from it as well. And it kind of like you hate, like you don't stop eating when you are full. You stop eating when you hate yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I,
every time you see food, it's like it's giving you those eyes like, hey, come
yeah.
to me, come to me, come to me.
Sit for me, sit next to me. Let's talk.
Yeah. Thank God, like I moved away from a place like when I used to live in West Lafayette, I was living next to Panda Express,
Oh,
and
good.
oh,
Panda
that
Express is
was
so good.
that was terrible, man. That was terrible.
Panda Express is so good, isn't it?
It is, dude. Like
So good.
when people ask me, like, hey, why did you move to the US? I like Panda Express is like one of my top three reasons.
Yeah. And I mean, even with food, it's like I understand the thing you were saying about emotional eating. Sure, that is a thing and it happens a lot.
Mhm.
But I'll also agree it's also a lack of willpower on my end. A lot of
Yeah,
like I lack willpower. I'm aware of it. At least when it
yeah.
comes to getting fitter or just making a lifestyle change. So I know I can do it. I've done it before, but it's like there's a huge
Mhm.
resistance for the first 15, 20 days. And once you
Yeah,
get on a clean diet, then your body just rejects those cravings anyway. Once you
yeah.
get to that point.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, it takes minimum 90 days to develop a habit anyway. So like you have to struggle to do it for 90 days. I spoke to a therapist about it once, and she told me that you're already using your willpower for so many other things, man. I mean, to like for us to be living away from home,
Yeah.
lonely, alone, no, you just you just have to use your willpower in so many different departments of your life. At the end of like 15-10 day period when you're resisting food, like you kind of run out, and they're like, okay, dude, like this is like the only reward. So like your brain has this reward system, and when you live alone, when you don't speak to a lot of people, you don't like have like proper validation in your life from like your own self, you kind of like go to this reward system, and then like with like you take your bowl to it, and then you ask like, hey, can I have some rewards please? And
Yeah.
then the reward cannot give you any dopamine without like having something in return. So
Yeah.
what can you give? What is like the easiest thing you can give to your reward system? Food. Because like as primal beings, when we used to hunt and kill for our food, food was our reward. We
Yeah.
didn't get food. So
Yeah.
because food is conditioned in a way to be reward
Yeah.
and not something to be purchased with money,
Yeah.
our reward system tells us like, okay, the easiest thing to get right now, because you are so sad, because you are so alone, because you are so low on dopamine, get food. You get food, and however much food you get, equal reward I'll give you. So that's how binge eating happens.
That's very true. Like I'll say this, even so food is definitely true. Like if
Hmm.
you don't I heard this one thing like it really struck a chord with me. It says that the brain does what it has done. It just keeps doing that.
Yeah,
You want to make it change, you just got to really. It's like you're a second brain. It doesn't make sense, but you got to
yeah,
just look at yourself from out of body and be like, what am I doing? Do I
yeah,
really have to be keep doing this? And then you try and change your habit. It's a fight with yourself. But
yeah,
with food and even when it comes to sex, it's like when you're not seeing someone, it is just
yeah,
so easy to turn to your computer and just look up some porn, get done
yeah,
with it, and then just go back to your life. But we don't realize that eventually it really fucks us up, fries our
yeah,
dopamine receptors, and it is bad for the brain and for the body. It doesn't help us in any.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then we become sigma males.
Same families, right? It's all it affects you like so badly. And because I've been in a spot like that once and I was like, dude, this is not good. I gotta get out of here.
Oh yeah,
Imagine
dude, yeah,
eating shitty food, watching porn, you're not sleeping properly, right?
yeah.
You're not working, you're not productive. It's like obviously you're bound to feel sad and depressed if you're not
Oh
doing
yeah,
anything.
I have been in that position multiple times.
It's a
And
yeah,
how do you get out of it?
it's a compounding effect, isn't it? It's not
It
just one
is.
habit that makes you hate yourself. It's a
Yeah.
lot of habits together, right?
Slippery slope. You
Yeah.
slip once, you keep slipping. Then first it's food, habits, sleeping, everything goes out the window. And
Yeah.
then because it is also a slippery slope to climb, it becomes very difficult to like climb as well, like improve this. Okay, if I improve food, I cannot improve my sleep. So if I like do my food and sleep together, and now I need a girl,
Mm.
and then you get that, and then like all of these, this is a slow process, dude. You need time,
Slow
you
process.
need commitment.
Absolutely. You really need to like something or someone really has to make that shift inside you to be like, you know what, fuck this. It's high time. I really gotta make some changes. Otherwise,
Hmm.
I can't be living like this for the rest of my life, right? So it's
Oh
like
yeah.
even with what were you saying about food and everything? Now, ideally, it is supposed to be okay. Let's do one habit at a time. Let's take baby steps. I
Hmm.
understand that's a good way to go about it, but I don't know. Weirdly, with me, it's like no, I have to get everything right at once, and that's how I'll
Oh
do it.
yeah.
That's what makes me feel better, I guess.
Oh yeah. Jason Statham says the same. So Jason Statham, like he's a like everybody knows Jason Statham and his body. Like he has a great body and he has a great lifestyle,
Yeah.
great wife. Like I mean I don't know, like top top five wives of all time.
Oh,
Like
really? I've not seen it.
oh, she's Rosie
I'll look it
Huntington
up.
Whiteley.
She
I don't
pretty?
know if she's his wife or fiance or just girlfriend. But yeah, I mean he's winning at life. And then he says that
Yeah. Dude, she's really pretty.
yeah, she
Taller
is.
than him too.
Oh yeah, but like it helps when you're Jason Statham, right?
Oh, absolutely. Height doesn't matter when it comes to
Yeah, so he said that like he doesn't believe in this gradual, slow progress. He believes in hitting his body hard. So like your first workout needs to be so brutal that you cannot do your second one, and then you need to go and even like do your second workout in an even harder way.
Yeah.
Because like we are very adaptable as human beings. Whatever we feel that like hey, let's do gradual, that's societal bullshit. Like it's not supposed to be slow, nothing is supposed to be slow.
Yeah.
You can do however we want.
I just sometimes feel like if you bought funny thing, if you hit your body that hard, it's suddenly one day you wake up and you do everything differently. You eat different
Yeah,
food, you get 8 hours of sleep, you get the sun, don't use your screens, just
yeah,
do everything differently. Your body's gonna be like, what the fuck?
yeah.
I swear,
And
is it gonna
that's
shut down? Is it just gonna be like, ah, I'm just gonna shut down?
yeah, yeah, that's how you're supposed to learn swimming, right? You can't read a book and okay, one day I'll do this outside the swimming pool, and then like gradually I will like put my feet in the pool or something. You learn swimming by fucking swimming.
Yeah.
And that's how it's supposed to be. And early on people used to learn swimming in rivers. They didn't even have pools. So I mean I speak a lot about like how we used to do early on. And I mean that's the kind of like thinking that I've been having recently, as to like I feel like somewhere in 1930s to 1960s we came across this paradigm shift in how capitalism is used to sell stuff. In 20th century we realized that okay, women will sell, like if you have billboards with women showing your product, it will sell.
Yeah.
If the women wore less and less clothes, the more and more your product will sell.
Yeah.
And that is how we have like conditioned into like this whole selling stuff. I don't think we need to live in a society where our healthcare workers are making less than what actors are. Because think about what actors do. They are good looking, they memorize lines, and they say them in front of camera while looking good.
Yeah.
We used to do this in exams, in engineering,
Yeah.
in vivas.
I mean, I'll say this, acting definitely is a difficult job. There's a lot more
Yeah,
to it. But I
yeah.
see your point. I see what the point you're making. But acting definitely is a really difficult job. It might look like easy on the outside, but
I mean, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it requires a lot of skill. I'm sure it requires a lot of practice. I'm sure it requires a lot of commitment, talent to like craftsmanship. But is it a necessity? Is it
Oh,
is
I
is
understand.
entertainment such a necessity that when pandemic hit, like the Kardashians can take their family and go to Bora Bora or Bahamas twice, and then there is this other part of society which was like healthcare workers and regular construction workers which didn't have access to proper basic healthcare.
Yeah.
And I mean
Yeah.
that is why I've figured this point, and I now I look at past and past and past more so as to like how we are here, how did we reach here.
I see what you're saying. Like if you put these two things next to each other, like one place where people are suffering, another place where
Yeah,
affluent people are having fun or living their life, like
yeah,
obviously it's going to look bad on their part. That, okay, what the fuck are you doing? People are suffering. But I guess that's going to be the case even in daily lives. Like right now we are comfortable. We
mm,
are in a position, like we are privileged enough to at least donate some money once in a while to someone,
yeah,
help someone out, give homeless person a
yeah,
meal, but we continue to keep living like this the way we are. But of
mm,
course it's a different conversation when it's extremely affluent people, and sure they have
yeah,
a lot more resources to help, but
yeah,
again I understand the point that you're making. It makes sense to me, but yeah, that is such a deep study, right? Isn't it? Is to look at
yeah,
it and understand what is the right thing, what is the wrong thing.
yeah.
No, I just think I don't know enough right now to even have a concrete opinion about it. कि, okay, ये है कि वो है.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, definitely. uh I mean, I've been reading about this a lot, and I've had a couple of conversations with a few friends,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, they all seem to say like the same thing that like, hey, I mean, we need more, I mean, concrete proof as to like understand what you are saying, or like, to even have an opinion about this. But I say like, yeah, it's fine. I mean, hopefully people now I see like, now I see films in India not being as successful as they used to be when we were there. So it kind of like it's not good. Like if anybody losing money is not good. And but I kind of feel like, okay, people in my country at least are waking up to the fact that if like if there is any debate on Twitter which says like, okay, which is the best Khan, Salman or Shah Rukh or Amir, and people are like, defending each other with their lives, like, risking getting banned from Twitter
Yeah.
just so that they can like defend their favorite actor. Kind of flip the script here. If you if today something happens, if you do like a bad payment, if your check bounces or something, and then like, your police wants you, your assets get like frozen, will Shah Rukh Khan, Salman Khan or Amir Khan come to your help? And I feel like this is sort of like, this part of like this part of evolution in 2022 in 2023 will somehow like wake people up to a thinking that, okay, maybe entertainment is not the be all and end all of society.
Yeah. Now I see your point more clearly. Uh, Let me start by the thing that you were saying earlier. Like recently, there was like a controversy on Twitter, and obviously it's Twitter, so people
Yeah,
were talking about how Kylie Jenner, she uses her private jet just for like she uses it for 15 minutes, and that
yeah,
releases a lot of carbon emissions. And then they
oh
compared
yeah,
it with carbon emissions released by some company, and they were like just one person releasing so many carbon emissions in this environment, blah 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 blah.
yeah,
I was like, yeah, I mean, makes sense, but ultimately it's free will. She can afford to do that. Now it's her choice to not care about the environment and just go on about it.
yeah,
If it's really that concerning, I think definitely there should be laws around it. But it made sense to me that okay, like someone in that position should be considerate enough to be like,
oh yeah,
let me just, because I know people are going to be looking at me, so let me just try and be more considerate. I don't
oh
know.
yeah, oh definitely. I mean, especially when you earn your money through, I don't want to say that they're not hardworking,
Yeah.
but like a lot of their earnings can be attributed to the fact that the way they look, which is very good. They look very nice. They look very appealing to the eyes.
Yeah.
And when you earn your bucks through looking pretty,
Yeah.
you sort of don't grow a conscience which is strong enough to have these sort of ideologies. You see, I mean, the exception is Sonu Sood. Like, look at Sonu Sood and like look at what he did during
Yeah.
pandemic. And we need more people like him,
No,
definitely.
that's Sonu Sood initially, like it started out great, and I was like, this dude is doing some really
Mhm.
nice shit. I liked what he was doing.
Yeah,
Then even now he helps people. Look, helping people is important. Doesn't matter if you're recording it or not recording it. I don't give a shit. As
yeah.
long as you're helping people, sure, record it, put it out. Good for everyone. Everyone sees, and if
Mhm.
motivated, okay, I should also do it because the celebrity is doing it. But then this guy, he just released a book. I
He
am no
did.
Masiha. Yeah, he released a book saying I am no Masiha, and it's written by him.
Oh, okay,
I was
okay,
like,
okay, okay. Sorry, I take that back. I take that back.
that changes things. That's a little. I didn't get it. I was like, dude, what? It is if someone else wrote it, I could understand. If a different person says I am no Masiha based on Sonu Sood and what he did.
Yeah,
This dude, he wrote that book himself and just gave it the title I am no Masiha, and then just yeah. I was like, that's I don't know.
yo,
Weird.
yo, that changes things, man.
Yeah.
That changes things, and kind of like brings back to the point that I mean, I feel like all Bollywood actors are supposed to be like this, and I guess that's true. I really hoped Sonu Sood wouldn't have been one of those guys,
Yeah.
but apparently he is. So,
And
but
once
you cannot, but you cannot disregard what he did during
oh,
pandemic.
absolutely not. I mean, he did some really great, helpful stuff, definitely. And
Yeah,
all credit to him for doing that. Good
yeah,
for him for doing that.
yeah,
But again, I see that dude. Not no one is a saint at the end of the day. Everyone does
yeah,
bad things, and every person does good things. It's
yeah,
important that you outweigh the good things by the bad things. That's more
yeah.
important. Because he also was caught in a so there was a sting operation about just an election campaign and people just
Mm,
pitching celebrities with money. Ki, okay, I'll give you some 20 lakh rupees. Just
mhm.
say good about this politician on your Twitter for the next 6 months.
Oh,
And he was among those 30, 40 celebrities that were caught on camera accepting the money.
oh my God!
This is before the
Don't
pandemic.
don't do this, Sonu Sood. Yeah.
This is this is before the pandemic, by the way. So
Okay.
now it makes me think, okay, so did you do what you did during the pandemic just to whitewash your image? Or I don't know.
Yeah.
I think. Is it a PR thing now?
Oh, oh man.
Sorry, Someone just lost a fan, it seems.
No, no, man. He helped a lot of people.
But
No
don't get
matter
me
what
wrong.
what
Yeah, don't
the
get me wrong. I still like the dude. I still like his work in movies and everything. I
yeah.
still like him. Seems like a really nice guy.
Like somebody told me Sonu Sood is the only actor who makes his body really buff just to get beaten up in in movies. Like, that's so true.
Yeah.
He has these 8-pack abs in every movie just to get beaten up like left, right, and center by sometimes Salman Khan, sometimes by this other actor.
By Ranveer Singh, by here and there.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, but yeah, Sonu Sood was. I mean, I will still look at what he did during 2020, 2021, and still
Absolutely.
like there are a lot of people who are alive because of him,
Yeah.
and that's what matters at the end of the day.
No, in spite of knowing all of this, I still respect him a lot because of what he did.
Yeah,
You
oh,
know,
definitely, man, definitely.
does not matter what if he did it for people to think he's a good guy or whatever. Ultimately, people were helped by him. That
Yeah, and I feel like you can help, right? I mean, I really do. I mean, it seems like I really have a bone to pick with Bollywood, but like I really feel like these people can help a lot. These people can because in our country, especially, like the gap between the haves and the have-nots is amazingly huge.
yeah.
In every country, so if you live in this country, it's the land of opportunity. Every day you get opportunity to bridge that gap. Like you come closer and closer to like being in a position where you can afford luxury, when you can afford like houses, you can afford like everything you want. In India, that's not the case, dude. In India, it's the gap is huge, and people in this gap, the middle class, they need all the help that they can get, because the farmers and the poor people of our country, they have the government helping them. All
Yeah.
the plans that government makes is
Yeah.
to help them, and that is good. Somebody needs to help them, because the middle class cannot, and the upper class is definitely not helping them out.
Yeah.
The upper class gets help, they can help themselves, right? I mean, they have positions of power, they can do whatever they want. It's just the middle class, it kind of is an orphan in our country.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like, I feel like many people can do a lot, the
Like the
middle
middle
class
child
themselves.
doesn't get any attention.
Yeah, yeah,
Suffer
definitely.
on their own. Yeah. But I absolutely agree what you're saying. So I every time when something like a conversation like this comes, I just try and think of myself, okay, what would I do if
Mhm.
suddenly I imagine, and it's hard to imagine, suddenly if I have
Yeah,
a lot of fame and money, would I help people? Right now, I think of course I would love to help people if I can.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
would help. But
yeah.
then it's hard to think, okay, the route that I took to get me there must be some reason why I choose not to, or I just don't do a lot of it. I don't know. It's hard to
Yeah.
imagine how those people think. And as I'm realizing more and more nowadays, people have stopped giving a shit about celebrities over the years. They don't care as much
Yes,
anymore.
yes, and I love that, dude. I
Yeah.
love that. If say if I thought about this too, like, hey, I talk a lot of shit about these people who have like all these resources, but what would I do if I was in that position? I mean, the thing that I thought that I would do is like probably create a threshold as to, like, how much money do I need to live a life that I feel is comfortable and up to my liking, and then whatever money I earn beyond that, I'll like, if there is money begets money, right? If you have money, you create money. uh, so you have like a threshold as to, like, okay, I have this much money which can sustain me and my moderate lives. Like I'm not a believer in, like, if I have a big dick, I'll vape it in everyone's face.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't need Gucci bags, I don't need like designer,
Yeah.
like anything. I So whatever money I earn beyond that, which is like excessive, I'll give all that away, dude. I'll give all of it away.
At least in Bollywood, I can say that for the last 2 years, I've not seen any. I should say I've seen very less good cinema. Like they have just been
Oh yeah.
shitty movies.
Yeah, every week there is a new Akshay Kumar movie.
I don't get it. I Akshay Kumar has just been. I really like the dude. I like his acting and everything, but he's just been sleepwalking through movies now. I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, he really focused on quantity more than quality.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's somehow it affects. I mean, I know why I know the exact moment why I started having like an antagonistic view towards Bollywood is when I was in Bombay. There is this small cafe uh, in Cuff Parade, which is like the area where the Marine Drive is. And I was there. I don't remember, was it? I mean, I won't say the name of the cafe, obviously, and I won't name any names here because you will upload this to YouTube, and I don't want to take that risk. But so it's a very famous cafe, right? A lot of people come from far, far away and to go into this cafe. And the friends that I was with wanted to go to this cafe because it's iconic, right? And we go to the cafe in evening and we stand outside. The cafe looks pretty empty, like, and then there is this guy outside, like with another like huge guy wearing black. And then he says, like, okay, so entry to the cafe is restricted and you're not allowed to enter till like 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. or something. And then a lot more people started coming in the evening. And I saw this like family come in, and the dude was from the army. He was in the army, and then he was like on a break for like a week. So he had come back to meet his family for a week.
Okay.
And we were all standing outside this cafe, and then the cafe is open. We can see the kitchen is working. We can see every table is there. But they say that the cafe is closed because currently like a famous person, like an actor and an actress, were inside having their meal, and they had booked the entire cafe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so I see this family, this father who is serving his country on the front lines, and like who is risking his life every day so that famous people like the people inside and people like me can like sleep safely and then like not worry about these things.
Yeah.
And he is not allowed to enter this cafe because this Bollywood actor and actress are having a dinner there. And when will when will this dude get a chance again to bring his daughter and his wife to his favorite cafe or not? And that really like rubbed me the wrong way, and I started like not liking Bollywood as much as I did.
Yeah, it's just a unfortunate situation. You're like, what the fuck, you know? Just let the dude
Yeah,
get time with his family.
yeah,
For
I
some
didn't I didn't get it.
for some reason now lately, because in today's environment, you're supposed to just look at all the sides before you even say something. You can't just nowadays say something and just not preface it by why you said it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's like everything that you say has to have a justification or an explanation so that you don't
yeah,
get into trouble ever.
oh yeah,
So
I-
every time, even if I agree with something, I'm like, "Yeah, that's a shitty thing to do." It's like,
yeah.
let me think twice. It's like,
Yeah,
so yeah, I definitely agree with that. Like, I would hate it too. That what the fuck, like, you know, just because
yeah,
people, celebrities are inside, no one is.
yeah,
I understand why they're doing it because they don't want to pester the celebrities, and they've booked the cafe, rightly so they're
yeah,
paying for the place.
yeah,
But you just feel bad for the family that, hey, you know what the fuck.
yeah,
Just wish it was not like not this way. Maybe I hope it
yeah,
doesn't, you know.
yeah. But like being a celebrity, you get access to a lot of influence. You get access to a lot of power, and
Absolutely.
yeah, some people used to choose to use it in this way, and
Yeah.
that's fine, I guess. We are idol worshippers at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna say this even with the switching topics here entirely, different spectrum. With the even with the mental health when it comes to therapy or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Initially, I was thinking, okay, I've not made videos in a while. I love the commentary format because it works better for me, and vlogs just stopped feeling organic after a while. I can
Mm-hmm.
exactly pinpoint on my YouTube channel which vlog was the last one where I enjoyed myself, and
Mm-hmm.
after that, it was more about just keeping consistent.
Yeah,
I know where I stopped feeling it as much, but
yeah,
again, I did my best with it, right? But now I feel okay if I'll switch to commentary videos for a while. Maybe this is gonna get me back into my element, and then we'll just switch back up again, keep going
mm-hmm.
back and forth.
Yeah,
And I love to talk. I talk without any filters. I have in the past in my other podcasts, other videos. I just say keep it real the way it is, not
mm-hmm.
giving a shit what other people think because it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now I feel like if I just talk about stuff and put my business out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it gonna backfire in some way? Like, am I gonna get into trouble where because obviously I have a professional career to go forward.
Yeah,
I don't want to jeopardize any of that. And
yeah,
you sent me a really good post once, which really stayed with me about therapy. That in therapy, the therapist usually with men they try to make you feel loved, but they
yeah,
should actually focus on trying to make you feel powerful. And you said
yeah,
a hot take. I was like, yeah, but I agree with it. I
yeah,
absolutely understand because feeling loved is fine, but I'm feeling depressed because I think I don't have my affairs in order. I feel like I don't have any control over my life. That
yeah,
makes me feel like shit. So I agreed with that like 100%. I was like,
yeah,
yeah, it's just so like a bajillion thoughts going in my head at the same time. I'm thinking,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, whenever you join a therapy session, I have tried like once or twice, and the first thing that they ask you to do is, I mean, and rightly so, is to talk to them, talk to them about all your life, and just keep talking. Like that is what the therapist told me. Like, hey, just keep talking, talk about whatever you want,
yeah,
and there is just so much going on in my mind, and I just have like I don't have a single problem. I have 15. Where do I start?
yeah,
Where do I like point you towards to like okay, help me here. but because why do I want your help here is because of 15 separate reasons as well. So
Yeah.
it's just like a complex like network as to like why my problems are where they are. And if you're just talking to me to like to tell you like, okay, how it happened, and like what happened in my childhood, what happened in my adult adolescence, and all those things, I'll do it. Of course I'll do it if if it helps you help me.
Yeah.
But like, is the juice worth the squeeze
Yeah.
if I'm not like able to like do justice to all of these 15 pointers which point to 15 different problems?
Yeah. Like if you're making me walk through all of my problems again, I
Yeah,
hope it's going to help me in some way.
yeah,
Because I
exactly.
understand if the therapist is trying to get to the root of a problem, understand, okay, this is where problems start. Now let's drill
Yeah,
deeper into that. Because a lot of good therapy is about asking the right questions, I would imagine.
yeah,
They're asking you the right questions, you know which part of the brain you're going to be tapping to just get those answers out. And
yeah,
then you also, when you say it out loud, you're like, oh yeah, okay, all right.
yeah, yeah.
I see.
That helps too. That helps too.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And like you're saying, like you just said, it's a mixed bag. Like you have 20 problems,
Yeah,
and you know that okay, a couple of them are just like they're interrelated. This problem
yeah,
causes this one, which causes this one, and
yeah.
you feel like you're in a slump. And how do I start figuring out this, this mangle or whatever?
Oh
I don't
yeah.
know if that's even a word, but how do I start working on this?
Yeah, and I feel like having a healthy lifestyle is so delicate because I remember, so I came back from India, and
Yeah.
I was on top of things, dude. Like I was like my mom used to do like this oil massage on my head, and I used to like get good food, get healthy food. I was eating my like proper greens that I'm supposed to.
Yeah.
And I came because like India is like in a way that it's like it's ahead of time
Mhm.
in like in terms of like how the world time works. I was sleeping at 9, 10 ish, and then waking up at 6, going to the gym. Like that was like what you're supposed to do, getting 8 hours of sleep, going
Yeah.
to the gym in the morning, going to work, and like by the time it's 12 p.m., you have achieved so much. And then I come back, and then there is this news everywhere that okay, Amazon is laying off 10,000 people.
Mm.
So I was able to maintain my healthy lifestyle for 4 days. And on the fifth day, like this news came out, and then all my friends like who work at Amazon, we started like slacking each other,
Yeah.
actually like asking like, hey, what's the situation here or there? And then that is such an emotionally like turbulent period that you
Mm.
cannot sleep on time. You cannot sleep at 10, dude. Like the sleep does not come till it's like really late. And that's why it's so delicate. It's so important to have like a fortress in your mind that like news like this, like because we're international students, obviously this news will affect us, but to what extent is something that we can have to control. And any news like this is can like uproot your lifestyle, the healthy lifestyle that you built for so long and with like so much effort, and like it goes away so fast.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, totally understandable why it would not make you sleep, because it's basically your living, and
Yeah.
it's your bread and butter. You're hoping to make
Mhm.
that into something. That's your life. That's what it's gonna be for the next few years. You hope to make the best of it, but
Yeah.
um, absolutely, I agree. So I have been sleeping at 4 or 5 a.m. for the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah,
And
me
recently,
too.
yeah, recently I've just been in such a slump. I recently got a reality check where I was like, okay, like this is it. This is a new low. What the fuck am I doing with my life?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like you're a different person when you're ordering shit food for yourself, or when you indulge in things you shouldn't be indulging in, right?
Yeah.
Even when it comes to, okay, you're going out on dates and everything, that's fine. But when you're again back to the dating apps, just mindlessly swiping, making conversations with random people,
Yeah.
trying to get away from your, or not facing your reality,
Mhm.
you're a different person then. And then if you indulge in porn, then you feel like, after you jerk off, you just feel like shit. You're like, oh, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
Post nut clarity.
This is rock bottom. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
you're like,
sorry.
what the fuck? You think to yourself, what the fuck am I doing? I'm nowhere close where I want to be.
Yeah.
I'm in horrible shape. I can't see a reason why anyone would like to be with me or why
Oh,
anyone would even like me.
oh yeah.
Like in a relationship, like I'm not giving them anything to like about me because I don't like
Yeah.
myself. If I don't like myself, or even if I'm not proud of my routine or what I'm doing in life,
Hmm.
how do you expect for other people to even be remotely interested in you, right?
Yeah.
It's a big reality check to me. I was like, okay. I was recently seeing a girl and we kind of hit it off nice, but then yeah, over like hindsight, I realized okay, I just was such a slug during the entire time. I was not focused on my life at all. I just
Hmm.
was seeking reassurance every now and then.
Hmm.
And it was like, okay, dude, you really gotta get your act together.
Oh yeah.
Uh, like this is high time, just do it.
Oh yeah. I mean, like this. I mean, fresh romance when it comes with like its own passion in the beginning is sort of a red flag because we are looking for this relationship, what we are lacking within our own lives, right? We are replacing what the void with with like chasing this person, or like when he or she talks to us, it hits us, and it kind of distracts us from the point that we're trying to like focus in our own lives.
Yeah,
And it sort of runs out, right? I mean, you know your own self-destructive tendencies, you know your own shortcomings, and you know that okay, this is not going to last long term, definitely not, because sooner or later my real picture is going to come out, and it's
yeah,
so horrible that not she but not anybody would like to stay with me. And before that happens, I might as well fuck this up for myself and
yeah,
give them a reason to leave me,
right.
because obviously I'm missing such a huge part, and I don't want anybody to focus on it because I myself don't focus on where I can improve.
Oh no, absolutely. I mean, I agree with everything you just said. It's like if I'm talking to someone and the moment I start smiling at my phone, I just realize, okay,
Oh,
I fucked
yeah,
up. This is not going to end well. And I
yeah,
don't want to sound pessimistic. Of course, it's great to have someone in life who you look forward to.
yeah,
But if they are one of those things in your day that keeps you happy or just hits your dopamine tuck 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 time and again,
yeah,
okay, you should probably be doing better things. Sure, they're a part of your life, but
yeah.
text from them shouldn't be like, oh, okay, let me just get back to my phone and just start.
Yeah.
That's when you know that okay, you messed up,
Oh, yeah.
and you
I mean,
start. Yeah,
yeah, the healthy part of it is like, oh, okay, like, okay, a text from them, yes, let's do it. Or it should be like, okay, at the end of the day, they're going to be there.
yeah, yeah,
When I'm done with my day, when I'm done with all these tasks that I need to complete to be myself, they're going to be there. And
yeah,
that's the healthy side, and that does not come instantly. You have to work towards it. You have to build an understanding towards the fact that okay, maybe we'll go through long periods of no communication,
yeah,
but at the end of the day, you are the one for me, and like I should know that I am the one for you as well.
yeah. And even with okay, we'll start this uh, at level one and slowly take it up. So even with texting, okay, the initial parts
Mhm.
or any part of relationship, texting is obviously big. Everyone texts.
Yeah.
I am more into if I'm into the person, if I want to really talk to them, I'll FaceTime them. That's how I do it. That's how
Mhm.
it's been for the last couple of years. And now I realize even if you're texting someone, the whole point of texting is to just coordinate a meeting in person and then talk to the person.
Yeah.
You don't just you're not a teenager anymore. You don't have to fucking keep
Yeah.
someone back and forth. How do you have that? You don't have that kind of time, right?
Yes,
If you're
absolutely.
that driven in life, you can't be texting someone day in, day out, right?
Yeah,
And I realized, oh,
absolutely.
what the fuck am I doing? I shouldn't be doing this, right?
Yeah.
And other than that, it's like you put the responsibility of your happiness on the other person, and then you don't realize it in the moment, but later you're like, oh, I fucked up.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have done that. And
that's horrible.
yeah, when I get anxious or when I know I'm in a low point in life,
Mhm.
I just sometimes spiral out. And when I have to talk to the person, I have to talk to the person. So it's
Mhm.
like sometimes I'm usually the kind of person who would give you your space if you need it.
Mhm.
Take a couple of weeks off, like take your time. But
Mhm.
sometimes there have been times where I was like, no, I really gotta talk now because I'm spiraling out. And that
Mhm.
doesn't come across as understanding or whatever. So
Oh yeah.
that was, I didn't like myself in that moment. I was like, have I really become that weak I can't just be by myself. Do I really
Mhm.
have to talk to someone to feel better? And
Yeah.
that's when it struck me that, okay, I need to get my act together, dude.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely, dude. Definitely. I mean, the moment that somebody else becomes an extension of yourself,
Yeah.
and now they are responsible. They didn't ask for this responsibility, but now somehow they are responsible for how you are feeling. That's like husband wife level sort of dependency, dude. You can't have that with somebody you are just texting.
Yeah, that's true. Or even calling for that matter, even if you're seeing someone on day to day,
Yeah.
unless you have been dating for like a long time, you don't get that comfortable that quick.
Yeah. But like, hey, do we have time to date someone for a long time?
I
I
believe so.
don't think so. I don't think so, dude.
I think that is something you don't actively do. You don't actively look for a partner. You
Yeah.
you just do your shit, and hopefully someone comes along the way, or you run into someone, or
Hmm.
one weekend if you're really bored. Obviously, everything in moderation is fine. So one weekend you just download the dating apps again,
Hmm.
run into someone nice. I have met a lot of nice girls on dating apps. Like
Hmm.
I did not end up dating all of them, but some of them have become really nice friends.
Okay.
And
That's cool. That's pretty
and these are nice girls. Like they are genuinely good people and nice to
cool.
talk to. So I'm like, they're not all bad. It's how you look at it and how you use it at the end of the day.
Hmm.
So
No, definitely. Definitely.
and obviously with all these horrible habits, it's gonna murder your self-esteem. It's gonna murder your sense of
Oh yeah.
self-worth. So to build that up again, obviously it's not easy. It's really hard, but
Hmm.
you gotta do it sometime. Otherwise, if you just keep delaying it, you keep fucking your face with food, and
Yeah.
it's
Oh, I mean, yeah, I do. I do understand what you're saying.
yeah. So you told me what are your other like hobbies besides work? What do you like to do, or something you would love to try now?
Oh, so recently I got into chess. So, uh, yeah, I've been trying to like play it at a high level because currently I have a rating of around like 524. Today morning I lost two games, so it went down a little. But
So you played digitally on the internet?
yeah, so there is this like chess.com, which is like a home of like Magnus Carlsen's and Hikaru Nakamura. Everybody who like wants to play chess at a pro level, they have to have like a rating from chess.com.
Okay.
And Magnus Carlsen, for example, has a rating over 3000. He's like the only one, maybe. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not very sure about the facts, but there are like people who are really good. Like they have like a rating of more than 2500 on the website.
Okay.
And like I yesterday was a good day, so I won a couple of games. I entered the 500 category. So I mean, recently it's a very recent thing that I'm picking up. Earlier on I used to get my ass kicked, and like you, I used to think that okay, this is chess, everybody has the same rules, I need to win these games. But I got my ass kicked for the first couple of days, dude. Like I was losing the games in 3 moves. I was not aware of like all these strategies.
Yeah.
And it kind of brings me back to what like you a very nice thing that you said was to how like the whole importance of things being organic and gradual when it in terms of like going to the gym, doing like working on your health or mental health or doing anything. I was rejected by 13 companies before I got my first job.
Yeah.
And that's I learned how to get a job by getting rejected from jobs.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything. And there are people I know from BAME who didn't face a single rejection, who sat for the job, did everything, got the job, and were like done. And it took me really 13 rejections to get my first acceptance. And it's like it happens gradually. And so, like the same thing I observed with chess also. Same thing I observed with like books. So I read a lot of books. I used to read a lot. My mom is a journalist, so
Oh,
she always
what
was.
publication?
She was working in Hindustan Times for a long time in Bhopal, but then Hindustan Times shut down in 2011 or something, and then she launched her own newspaper. So she runs her own newspaper in Bhopal and
That's cool.
Indore. Yeah, and like every time, she was very like upfront about like I need to read stuff. I need to be reading like a lot of literature. My whole like maternal family is a full of like like laureates and people who like to read a lot and like Hindi, English, Sanskrit, all of those things. She was a lot into like, hey, you need to read. So started reading a lot of books when I was a kid, and I sort of like lost that habit when this whole job thing and then coming to the US thing happened. And then recently I got back into reading a lot of books. I'm reading this book called Seven Moons of Mali Almeida currently. Very nice book. I highly recommend it.
That's fiction.
Apart from, it's fiction, yeah. I mean, I'm reading fiction after a long time. I started reading all these like Fyodor Dostoevsky and uh, uh, Niccolo Machiavelli, like all these like philosophical 18th, 19th century books, which
Mhm.
were like uh, also this book called Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. You should really read Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, dude. Like it's about stoicism, and it's about having contentment in life from like normal activities, and then feeling like the sort of happiness standard for there is like the standard of happiness that is set for men in general. And
Mhm.
then like he was like one of the kings of Roman Empire, which was who was a great thinker. And
Okay.
then he gave a lot of like tidbits of like how to like this, and he published this journal without the intention of it ever getting like to the like the normal people. And then these are his thoughts, and then when you read his thoughts you kind of realize, okay, like your mind sort of like expands into like thinking like, okay, this is the thing. So like this is coming from a person who held power, who held the richest of the richest of Roman Empire.
What is the name again? Let me note it down.
It's called Meditations by Marcus Aurelius.
How do you spell it?
Meditations,
Oh,
M-I-M-E-D,
Meditations. Okay. Meditations by Marcus.
Aurelius, Aurelius.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, and we recently also got a gramophone. And then my roommate and I, he's from Arizona. And so we went out in Nashville, and then we got a lot of like vinyl records or
Mhm.
vinyl records, like from 80s and 70s. And then we kind of like play these like old records on a record player.
Well, yeah, that's kind of nice. A
Yeah.
few days ago I was thinking I just I just find ways to spend money. Okay, I should fucking buy something that I absolutely don't need. So I was thinking
Oh,
of
yeah.
buying a typewriter.
Oh,
I was like, okay, that's gonna be cool because typewriter you can't really go back
oh,
or
yeah.
erase something. You gotta really tuck 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 know what you're typing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, that would be cool, and also the noise that it makes, that clink, metal clink.
Oh, yeah.
I was like,
Oh
I
yeah,
should.
oh yeah. It teaches accountability, right? And then so do records. Like when you play a vinyl record on a record player, you can't skip songs, you can't rewind songs. You have to play it from the beginning and then wait for every song to come one by one.
Yeah,
And that sort of like teaches you accountability in a sense that, you know, you are responsible for your actions here.
right. And like, so I've not never used one before.
Mhm.
Chord. So the ones that you have, how many songs does it have on one record?
So there are two sides, side A and side B, and
Okay.
usually every side contains 8 to 10 songs. Depends on like what kind of band it is. So like if you're listening to a band like ABBA,
Uh-huh.
which makes songs like 5, 6 minutes long or 3 minutes, 4 minutes, you can have a lot more songs on one side. But if you're listening to something like King Crimson, whose every song is like 10, 12 minutes long,
Mhm.
then you might have like 4 songs on a side.
Interesting. Interesting. I gotta try that sometime. A
Oh
record.
yeah, definitely, dude. come over to Nashville.
Oh, absolutely. I'll come over sometime. I was gonna actually call you. I texted you right regarding the new year,
Yeah.
the conversation, but yeah, I'll definitely reach out.
Oh
I'll
yeah.
see you soon. But other than that, even with these things, so I have not read for the most part of my life, like not read books out of academics or some
Yeah.
or something that I really, unless I had to really read something, right?
Mhm.
I've never read for recreational purposes. That okay, leisure
Mhm.
reading, never done that. Now I'm starting to get into it, and I realize okay, when you start reading, your brain literally expands, and you feel
Oh
like
yeah.
now you know more, or your bandwidth just keeps increasing if you keep reading, I guess.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely, dude. Definitely. There are, especially if you read like non-fiction and then like just journals of people, you
Mm.
kind of get to sit on their seat and then think about, okay, for how would you have thought in this situation? Now they had their own thinking process in this situation.
Yeah. I mean, I guess eventually my hope is to, by getting my affairs in order, is to just be a better person overall. Just be
Oh
proud
yeah.
of what I'm doing. Because once I know, like once I'm in that position, then I'll be really secure. And obviously, you can never really run out of insecurities. But I'll,
Yeah.
okay, I think at least I'm trying.
Oh
Right
yeah.
now, sometimes I feel, am I even doing the bare minimum?
Oh yeah.
Like
I mean, you gotta fake it till you make it then. Like, I mean, you should like just start acting like you have your affairs in order. And then you might as well end up having your affairs in order just because you acted like your affairs were in order.
oh, absolutely. And like it's I completely forgot my point. Anyway, I recently I ordered this book from Amazon. Not reading. This is a adult coloring book. It's got a
Mhm.
color in it. So I also
Yeah.
got colors now. I'm just gonna start
Oh,
doing it in a while.
nice,
Let's see how it
man.
feels after a long time.
Yeah.
I used to sketch as a kid. Haven't done that in
Yeah.
a while. So I was like, let
Hmm.
me pick this up, see how it is.
Yeah. That's pretty nice, man. How long are you in West Lafayette now?
I'll probably be here for the next 6 months at least. Because my lease expires in July,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm starting a new job in January.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's like,
Congrats.
thank you. Uh, so I'm starting in January. So I was thinking relocating and starting a new job at the same time would be a little too much. I
Yeah.
could have moved if I wanted, but yeah, I'm just dealing with some other shit right now, too much on my plate. So
Oh,
I
yeah,
thought
dude.
let's take
Yeah.
some time. And also I just didn't want to be away from all the people in campus all of a sudden. Because moving to
Yeah.
another town, you gotta socialize again and just
Yeah.
it's gonna be lonely again, I thought. If I just
So your job is completely remote, right? They don't want you to come to the office.
It is remote, and once in a while, of course, they'll be like, "Hey, just come over to the headquarters. We'll talk and blah blah blah."
Where are the headquarters then?
Boston.
Oh, pretty cool. Boston is nice. Yeah. My friend just moved to Boston and he spoke to me about the whole rent situation in Boston, and I thought, wow, dude,
Crazy.
wow. Yeah, Boston is Manhattan level expensive, bro.
I mean, I would imagine, it's Boston. But
Yeah,
the reason I say I feel castrated is not just because I had to turn down my personality or put filters on,
yeah,
also because I just threw away my ambitions out of the window, and I don't want to be hard on myself. I
mhm,
thought I was going through some shit, but I just want to go back in there and just understand, okay, where is that confidence which I had in 2018, 2019, and I had these big dreams that I wanted to achieve. And
yeah,
obviously, I have that potential. Now, when I look back, I see a lot of wasted potential, and I think, okay, I can't keep doing that. So that's why I just gotta keep reminding myself that, okay,
yeah,
what I used to think back then, and yeah, just there was no limitation to there was no limitation to what I could dream. Pehle.
yeah.
Now we're just bounded by so many things. It's hard to even imagine what are we capable of.